thanks for turning up. It's really good to see so many people here, and hopefully I'll be able to give you a few take-homes on social media strategies that we've implemented, etc. Sorry I'm chewing a whole soother. I've got a sore throat from a lot of talking yesterday. Can't imagine it's going to be better by the end of today, but there you go. My name's Anthony Rawlins. I'm the Managing Director of Digital Visitor. Our marketing director is just behind the man with the camera over there. He's a short man, so thanks Simon. And that's Simon. So we're at stand C11, so feel free to come along, follow up questions with us at any time. It's a pleasure to hear from many of you. So interestingly, I've got the introduction before the agenda. Never mind. I will go through an introduction to us. What I want to touch on in this presentation is a bit about our philosophy behind social media, and basically just the principle that if you all take in a bit and maybe, I suppose, adopt yourselves, I think that you'll find your strategies will hopefully work better. We're going to look at the differences between on-site and off-site social media, best practices when using them, and just more general tips for social media. We'll talk about online communities. We've got a lot to talk to you about online communities. It's something we've got a lot of experience and knowledge about. We'll give you a few examples of some sites that are working well, maybe some sites that aren't working too well, and also some tips on communities, do's and don'ts. And what I'll do is I'll put this on our website as well, which is visitorreview.com. I think we can download the presentation from there, so you can go in there, liberate all of this information, repurpose it as you see fit. So, it's a simple philosophy, it really is. We feel that social media is actually made up of two elements. Both these elements need care and attention. On-site social media. This is, well, I'll come into this in a bit actually, but there's on-site social media and off-site social media. Trust me, it might seem incredibly simple, but just focusing in this way will really help. Both of them need addressing with equal weighting, really, to have a long-term social media strategy. And I would say that most companies are really just focusing on their off-site social media. So, on-site, we believe, is about your own content and information, gathering your own reviews, building your own loyal community. Now, there are benefits of your on-site community. This includes maintaining traffic on your own website, driving bookings within your website, building page ranking, as search engines really see review and social media content very, very highly, and they see it in a very good light. And what your on-site social media can do is drive brand new organic search engine traffic to your website. Off-site channels are ones not on your website, funnily enough. This includes sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, and these are very much about finding new audiences, not existing customers, not people that are already on your website, new people. And what we want to do with all of these off-site channels, this is what we firmly believe, is use them, is ultimately drive them to your website, drive them to your shop front where they will buy your services, book with you, become loyal customers of your own. What we don't want to do is send them away from your website to these off-site channels and then have them poking all their fence for the next 2 hours. It's the last thing we want. So, as I just said, there are a lot of social media channels out there. These should primarily, it's not exclusively, but primarily be involved in finding new visitors and new customers to your site, introducing them to your brand. There's no way you should deny that Facebook could have an immense impact on your social media. You can get, on your marketing strategy, you can get access to millions and millions of new potential customers. And there are some very excellent and useful Facebook groups out there to engage with. I'm not going to talk much about off-site social media because there's a lot of people that can tell you about that already. We do that, but that's not what I'm here to tell you about. As an example, an incredibly successful social media strategy, I was speaking with Tom Hall, who's Director of Communications for Lonely Planet. He said one of the best strategies they've done, up until October, just gone, they had 150,000 likes on their Facebook fan page, which is pretty good. and they send information from their own site over to Facebook, and it drives a lot of traffic back from Facebook to the Lonely Planet site itself. What they did was they engaged with a Australian comedian, and they sent her around, travelling around and doing posts and blogs, etc. In 3 months, they got 80,000 new likes, 4 months, sorry, which is immense. It's gone, their fan base has gone up to 230,000 fans now. That is clearly a very successful social media strategy. However, I do feel that, obviously, off-site channels, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, etc., have their limitations. One thing recently that we've been trying to implement for a few customers is some good competitions on Facebook, which is a good way of driving fans to your page or people to like you. However, there's some quite stringent rules when it comes to Facebook and competitions, how you use it as a vehicle for that. Therefore, limitations in functionality are very present. And by investing more and more in these channels, that's great to, again, drive new people back to your site, but it will have its limitations there. So, limitations in off-site channels have led a lot of companies, to ask, how can they do it better? So, to finish a bit about the off-site channels of social media, I'll say that here's a few tips that you might want to think about when you are approaching these channels. And as I said, you need equal weighting on off-site and on-site. Choose your channels wisely. Yes, there are 500 million people on Facebook, and if you put them all together, they would cover the whole surface of the moon. I did make that last bit up, I think. But 500 million people on quite a generic, nondescript or specific site, or 20 million people on Wayne, for example, a very travel-specific social site. There are over 330 off-site social media channels for you to use. Don't all, please, focus just on one. Have a look at what's out there. Spread your bets between 2 or 3 or 4. Pick the right ones for you, and they won't all be the same, which is good. You can take large ownership on one channel, on Foursquare or a different website, a different social media site, and really get a lot of traction from that and traffic back to your site by having the best strategy on there. As I said, please don't just create a Facebook group and call this your social media strategy. I know it's easy to do. I know that a lot of companies have in their budget lines now marketing, social media marketing. Oh, right, well, that's our Facebook channel. That's not just what it's about. That is going to give you possibly some short-term gains, but there's different ways of thinking about it, and you need to look at a few different channels. Don't publish everything you get on your Facebook channel, because people won't care. They won't listen to all of it. They will leave. They'll be thinking, oh, I'm getting this all the time from these guys. Publish useful content. Useful content really does drive a lot of traffic. What we found from our campaigns is by publishing one bit of useful content per day onto a client's Facebook group, and linking that back to your website. So it's an article that you originally posted, say, on your website, that you then send to your Facebook group. You can get 2.5 times your community size on Facebook back to your website per month. I'm going to say that again because I confused myself a little bit with that. So, if you've got a community of 10,000 on Facebook, you publish one bit of useful content per day, you can get 25,000 people back to your website from Facebook per month. That is an average we've worked out across a number of our sites. Good content is imperative, which is what we've just been talking about there. Also, genuine content is required. I don't know how many offers or specials or discounts your Facebook fans want to hear about. Give them a chance to get to know the personality behind your organisation. Whilst it might not seem as specific as, okay, we've got 15 people to book from our Facebook page, it might be a little bit longer term, but it will pay off in the end. Incentivize, but obey the rules. There are major limitations on competitions with Facebook, for example, so do have a look at those. And if you want to get something from your community, do consider offering them something in return, because nothing's free in life, and your community, as much as they might love you and travel with you all the time, it's nice to provide them with something in exchange for their input. And number 7, one of the most important things, make sure that you use these channels to get people back to your brand. So, On-site social media is about your own community, about building your own community and area for people to interact within your own website, under your own brand, maintaining that brand equity that you have. Strategically, this is a better, longer term strategy, and it's not just me that says this. There are a number of examples of communities that have been developed by companies out there. Be Travelled is a site that Virgin Atlantic have released. TTE, group travel for 18 to 35-year-olds, have a really nice community. They've been doing that for some time. It's very nice, actually. Saga Zone was coined as the potentially the Facebook of for the over 50s when it was launched, and that's a website that's been developed and it's still around. These organisations here are but a few. Drop in the ocean of a few. The brands are either at the moment looking to develop a community or have a community of some sort already on their website. And there are a lot more. So, what are the benefits of building your own community, your own group? Well, there are a lot, to be honest. Firstly, you can really control the interaction. You can manage the responses very well. You can moderate content added, which does not by any means say only let through the good stuff and all the bad stuff leave it be. But you certainly have more control and more. It enables you to be more secure with what's being added there. Obviously, keeping people on your own site, engaging in your own community area will help maintain and enhance your brand presence. Organic search engine traffic. We found on average across the 200 social media sites that we deliver that on average, one review added to your own site brings in 15 new organic visitors per annum. There we go. So if you get 10,000, well, 1,000 reviews added there, for example, during the course of a year, you will get 15,000 new organic visitors per annum. Organic, loyal, long-term, it's not PPC. It could be used potentially to replace a fraction of your PPC spend in a longer-term strategy. Repeat business. One of the key drivers of building your own community as well. Long-term loyalty, browsing time. I'll come on to one of the good results we've had with browsing time, but it could literally double the browsing time under your brand pretty easily, to be honest. It allows you to gather information, data capture, but it also lets you gather media, photos, information, etc. to use in your own marketing. What you can also do is almost profile some of your clients and potential customers and provide them with information according to their interests, their likes, products that they want to see more of, and just show them the information added by other members in those groups. So say I'm interested in going on a trip to Vietnam and my community, the community on my website knows this, then I can see all the review content that can automatically be sent to me, all the content for Vietnam that's recently been posted. Your community should and will have better functionality than a Facebook group. Facebook groups, fan pages are very limited in what they can do. Yes, you can develop presence on there, but as I said, you've still got limitations. The functionality is what really drives these communities. It's important to future-proof as well, and your community can also be applied to different brands that you may have. We're not thinking about building a community on one brand or another brand, this and the other. You can share those members between different elements of your organisation if required. Oh, one of the key benefits of building your own community as well, clearly, is that you can index all the content added on your site, and then you will get the search engine benefit, but then you should send that out to all your channels like Facebook and like YouTube. You should share it with those. You should use Facebook Connect to make sure the good images and the good information is actually sent out far and wide, because again, that will drive traffic back to you, but it gets indexed on your site. It's added to your site. You get the organic search engine benefit for it, not TripAdvisor, not YouTube, not Facebook. Okay, so here's an example of a site that we've recently done. Voyage Jules Verne is a community, an organisation run by Kuoni. They're a great company, deal predominantly with over 50s, over 55s group travel, so they all go on tours together. Small groups of tours, and great experience, having gone on a couple myself, they're great fun. What they do is they want an environment where people, once they've gone on the tour, can come back, share their experiences, share their photos, etc. And then, I suppose, well, what they would do after sharing this is hopefully encourage them to go and book another group trip, but together with people that they've already met that they like travelling with. So we developed a community for them to share their reviews, videos, albums, etc. It gathers their ratings of the tours, so you can provide a tour rating, which is information here. And it's a good way, obviously, for them to gather feedback as well. They can earn points as well, so if your members upload a photo, they get 2 points. If they upload a video, they get 5 points. If they contribute or start a discussion, they get 10 points, and etc. That builds up and up and up, and then they have different member levels, and as you pass through a different member level, you get sent a little present in the post from them, which is really nice. When you're looking at these reviews as well, so this is one of the Grand Tour of Indochina. Here, nice and clearly, is a link just straight through to the booking page. So, you know, it's not kind of airy-fairy kind of, oh, here's a nice, you know, review and stuff. It actually has purpose, has meaning, it has direction. It wants to get them to inquire or book a specific tour. You've also got staff profiles in there. Your communities can have different user types. You can have consultants, staff, you know, customers, all journalists, all different types of users with different access privileges. But by doing that, you're building a larger community, not just about the consumers. You know, your staff can add really, really useful content. As I said, one review added can give you 50 new organic visitors per annum. So why not get your staff to add a review or a posting, you know, once a week or something like that? It'll only take about 10 or 15 minutes. So this is an example of, as I said, of one of the communities that we've done for QONI. This has recently been shortlisted for Best Online Community, Chartered Institute Marketing. It's been live for 4 or 5 months. I think we're coming up to 5 months now. They've had 250 experiences uploaded, including 1,300 photos, which are really valuable that they can use in their marketing. 50 videos, which are really good, really nice content. It's really attractive content. And what it does is, on the actual tour page itself, it also shows you the actual review specific to that tour. So if you're thinking of going on the tour of Indochina, we'll show you all the Indochina tours there. Loads of people look at it. There are 650 members so far, but that's growing, and obviously it's building, and we want to have thousands of there pretty soon, which are long-term loyal customers of theirs, and they will be hopefully forever. The browsing time on the site was about 3.5, 4 minutes anyway. The browsing time of their community is 3.5 minutes on its own. It's pretty much double the browsing time of the site, and it's added 1 to 2 minutes of browsing time on their own website as well. So it literally has doubled the exposure of the brand, doubled the time that they're under you and under your brand, as opposed to going onto different sites and looking around there. Because clearly that time could have been spent on TripAdvisor or somewhere else, but no, it's here. And there have been over 55,000 views on and interactions, views of content on the site in that time. So that's one on-site strategy to look at. I've got another on-site strategy to go through as well with a different client. It's quite different. What we've actually done is we've kind of created a national network of a load of different solutions, independent solutions. So we work with clients from small visitor attractions up to big, large travel organisations and tour operators. And what we've done with this is that by connecting all the different visitor attractions in the country, we managed to get them to share their content with a local tourist board if we work with them as well. So, for example, all the attractions in Bristol we work with can share all of their reviews, photos and videos with the Visit Bristol destination marketing organisation. Visit Bristol, as an example, can then share all that content with Visit England, who we work with. Visit England can share all that with Visit Britain. So one review I did on the Visit Bristol website can be seen on Visit Bristol with about 1 million visitors per annum. Visit England, 20 million visitors per annum. And Visit Britain with 20 million visitors per annum as well. This is a really unique strategy for this country, and we're probably in time going to be working with a lot of different other countries on this, but at the moment that's the first and best example of really a destination marketing, a country's marketing. As you can see, Bristol Zoo would be very happy, for example, getting exposure on all these different channels. And these reviews are also shown on the destination pages of Visit England and Visit Britain. So if you're looking for information on London, you go on the London page of Visit Britain, the London reviews will be shown there. It's almost got 2,000 reviews, it'll have many more photos than that, so let's just say 10,000 photos. And about it's not 50 videos, 500 videos. Sorry about that one. I've just realised actually that I completely forgot to do the introduction about myself, so you might be thinking, who's this guy that stood up here, what does he do? Is anybody, it's not just a mic test, don't worry, it's a long mic test. I would go back, but it might really cut the flow there. Suffice it to say, I'm the Managing Director of Digital Visitor, and we provide social media solutions for a lot of the UK and various different tour operators, etc. Thank you for your patience on that. Another example for you as well, because this is why we're here, to find out about what other people are doing as well. We're recently embarking on a project with London clubs. These are casino chains, casinos all over the country owned by Harrods, who also own Caesar's Palace, etc. And a load of the clubs in casinos in Las Vegas. Now, their KPIs are repeat visits and visits to their actual venues, getting people through the doors. What they're going to be doing and what we're going to be looking to do with them is create an online community. But actually, all I really wanted to talk about here was the fact that we're not doing anything different than what they're doing anyway. They would traditionally have a Facebook group and add this information twice a week to their Facebook group. Each of the clubs would add or post twice a week to Facebook at 10 clubs. So, what we've said is, listen, rather than doing this just on Facebook, consider having your own solutions, your own small communities that you can build, publish the content on there first, and then press the connect button and then send it through to Facebook. The benefit of that is solely, well not solely, but clearly, brand new organic search engine traffic indexed on their site as opposed to Facebook, but then still sent to Facebook. It doesn't hardly add any time. It's a slight shift in the way that they're doing things. Rather than encouraging people to add their own staff to add to Facebook directly, they encourage them to actually add it to their own site and send it to Facebook. It's really simple. Slight difference with massive benefits. So in 1 year, say 1,000 reviews or 1,000 posts that could be added by these members of staff are not, they're going to drive 15,000 new organic visitors, and that's going to happen year on year on year. That's just a simple benefit of not doing anything different than what they're doing anyway. The content, as I said, still goes on Facebook. So, following on from that theme, no community is an island. Your own community, your Facebook group, this, that and the other, you need to share the information that you get added there because it is so valuable. Authentic, genuine experiences from your online visitors are so valuable for you. They're so great at converting other customers. They're honestly one of the best tools you could possibly use. Therefore, what you need to do is try and engage on multiple channels. Try and find different ways of sending your content across many, many different websites and channels. What you will find is the next wave of communities, of organisations that deliver their own in-house communities on their own website. They're going to really benefit in the long term because they're building that loyal membership base under their own brand, but they will have significant social media integration. As an example, this is just the share functionality here, and it shows that there are over 335 more social media sites you can, from your own website, publish this one review, this one bit of content. So there's a heck of a lot of ways that you can just send that far and wide. You need to distribute it and get more eyes on your good content. And this is just a simple example of, again, another review on the VJV website talking about an eclipse in Siberia. It's just a brilliant bit of content taken by somebody real on that tour. Link right through to their specific tour product as well. It's quite a unique product. So, you'll find that over the next 12 months, a lot of these communities are going to start integrating Facebook Connect a lot better. They're going to have Twitter feeds connected much, much better. And not just Facebook and Twitter, though. I know I've been saying a lot about that, but you do need to find your own way with social media. It's not just about those channels. There are a lot out there. You can really take ownership, a lot of ownership over a specific channel. So, I've got rush through that quite a bit. I know that you're expecting maybe, 45 minutes of me jabbering on, but I will take some questions in a bit. I'll finish off just with a few top tips for your own community, because hopefully, if you're thinking of embarking on this, trust me, this is going to be really useful. I will say that recently, you are getting a new wave of these social communities with social media communities with a lot of big travel clients. You're finding, and we've spoken to a lot of people just yesterday saying, listen, we created a community, it's not really working. We just went there, added functionality A, B, and C, and nobody's really using it, nobody's really doing anything with it. That's because it's quite complicated. But there are systems and solutions out there that you can use that will do this for you and keep you at the cutting edge. It's very important. So, top tips to your community. Don't think, oh, wouldn't it be good if somebody could add reviews? Please try not to think like that. Think about what you actually want to achieve from your social media. Really do go through this thought process. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction and say, yeah, I want to gather reviews, or I want to build a community, or I want to go and set up a Facebook group. What do you want from that? Is it more traffic to your site? Is it more organic search engine traffic? Is it repeat bookings? Is it better conversion ratio, i.e. showing review content near the booking tab so that people have that, confidence to actually book, so they see people rate it highly? Is it media? Do you want a load of videos for your own marketing? Is it just genuine content that you think will be, really hopefully enhance a lot of your website's got to offer? Is it immediate gains that you need, or do you need to build something for in 12 months or in 24 months? Think about how long you can wait until you really need to monetize this. I know it's all about monetizing, it is about having a real commercial prospect, but that will come once you figure out what your initial drivers are for that. And there are a load of different tools that you will get to answer each of those specific requirements of yours. Don't, whatever you do, overcomplicate your site or community or the way you want people to contribute to you. This is incredibly important. If you go on and ask people to spend half an hour or an hour on your site, really? Are they really going to do that? I wouldn't do that. I've not got time to do that. A lot of people don't have time to do that. Try and make it as simple as possible for people to contribute to your brand. If they just want to go on and say, I had a great time, thanks, let them do that. If they want to just upload a photo, say, look at the view from my room, isn't it amazing? Let them do that. Don't ask them for an essay or a short novel each time they want to contribute to your site. They just want to rate something. Let them just do that. It's about contribution. If you can get them to contribute in a big way or a small way, great. Because I'm telling you, you'll find 80-20 rule applying there. 80% of the people, wait, no, that's not right. 20% of the people will add 80% of the content. You will get super users who go on there and you will love them. They will add essays of content and they will just do your selling for you. You might as well let one of your marketing execs go actually if you implement something like this. I'm joking, don't do that. So do incentivize the content, do incentivize to get the content you want. Be specific. If you want short 30-second clips, because you know that's going to help, and trust me, video is excellent for engaging. This is a great way of getting video. Digital Visitor as an organisation was set up in 2005 and quickly became the largest producer of online video for the tourism industry in this country. We produce hundreds and hundreds of videos. We created this system, and it might seem almost destructive in that you've got a professional video production element and the ability or asking people to upload their own videos and things, but actually it's not, and they're both needed and they're both really useful. Video is great, people watch it. You've got a 30 or 45 second video on there, it's 30 or 45 seconds that will really engage people. If you want video, ask for it. If you want photos of somebody taming a lion on the Serengeti, actually no, I wouldn't suggest that. Cheetahs are a lot more tame. So if you want something like that, then ask for it and incentivize to get that as well. It doesn't have to be a big incentive, you don't have to give them a Jeep. Why not, offer them something more personal, something small, just so it shows that you care for the contribution that they're providing. So, make sure that the content that you want to gather, just get it indexed under your own brand on your website. That, if you take home anything from this, if everything else I've said has just been droll, please take away that you want to get content indexed on your own site. Don't contribute to a load of other sites, index it on yours, and then send it out to those channels. Use that content and then capture visitors from Flickr, Facebook, and drive them back to your own community. Good content drives these communities. Get your staff to take part, trust me. Getting them to either review a week or something like that, or contribute once a week will really help. If you've got 5 staff, it's going to help. If you've got 5,000 staff, it's going to help. And yeah, they're not all going to do it, and they're not going to do it all the time. But in the way that you want to incentivize your customers or potential customers to add this content, because you know how valuable it is, try and incentivize your staff to do it as well. Or at least give them harsh penalties if they don't, as I do with some of mine sometimes. Find your super users. They are out there. There are people out there that love you and love your brand, and they will come on here and they will add their information, and they will add short essays, novels, books about how great you are. They'll add loads of photos, they'll add videos. Find these people, send a little message back to them. Listen, thanks so much for writing this. It's absolutely brilliant. We know that everybody's enjoying reading it. Because that will feed to their ego, which is a lot of what social media is about. It's like, well, this is what I think about this, so have a look at my photos and listen to what I have to say. And it's right, that's the way it is, you know. So a little communication from you can go so far. It really can.